Every step of the long and complicated procedure in steel making has the careful attention of experienced men, from the hottest task to the highest. And there are some hot tasks, and I do mean hot. Here in the open hearth, the scrap metal and raw materials are reduced to a boiling, bubbling mass of molten metal that's kept at a temperature of approximately 3,000 degrees for several hours to assure a complete and scientific combination that will produce top-quality steel. Quantity is also a factor to be reckoned with. And here is quantity. 175 tons of molten steel is drawn from the furnace at one time. It's shaped into what are known as ingots. The goal is always increased production without sacrificing quality. That was the pioneer's idea. Make more of it so others could have it. These ponderous 5,000-pound ingots will be allowed to cool, and then they'll be slowly reheated again in preparation for the next process, heating and cooling and heating again. Here in the blooming mill, the ingot changes its shape through the skillful manipulations of these experienced operators. When they're finished with it, it'll be known as a billet. When just the right size is obtained, the billet is allowed to cool. Then it's heated again. And then it's rolled and rolled again until it becomes what is known as a rod. When Peter Sommer built his fence weaving machine back in 1889, he required a wire. That was all he asked for, one good wire. One wire made it possible for him to make his product. But today, the consuming public demands many different types of wire. And just as Peter Sommer built his fence weaving machine that he and his neighbors might have fences, so have the men who walk in his shadow designed and built machines that their neighbors may have many things. Machines that make it possible for men to produce more of a better product in a shorter period of time. More than 18,000 miles of wire is produced here each day, and some of it shows up in unexpected places. Maybe it's a record rack that holds the latest in music and song. Maybe it's serving a useful purpose in somebody's chicken yard. The work-worn hands of builders and mechanics reach for it 1,000,000 times a day. Some of it goes into the construction of America's homes. Many strands of it twisted together become cables for huge cranes or for suspension bridges. Some of it is used for reinforcement for the nation's highways. Peter Sommer's idea for using wire for farm fence has expanded into many uses, and now wire touches the life of everybody in one way or another every day of every year.